The Pilatus PC-7 Turbo Trainer is a low-wing tandem-seat training aircraft, manufactured by Pilatus Aircraft of Switzerland. The aircraft is capable of all basic training functions including aerobatics, instrument, tactical and night flying. It has been selected by more than 20 air forces as their initio trainer. Since the aircraft's introduction in 1978, close to 500 have been sold, with the majority still in service. Over 1 million hours have been flown by PC-7s worldwide. Development. The PC-7 is based on the earlier piston-powered Pilatus P3. The first prototype, modified from the prototype P3 by replacing its Lycoming 0435 engine with a Pratt & Whitney PT6A20 turboprop, flew on 12 April 1966. But after a crash, the PC-7 program was shelved. In 1973, the program was restarted and another P3 was obtained from the Swiss Air Force. After modification, this aircraft flew on 12 May 1975. Further extensive modifications followed later in the program, including a new one-piece wing with integral fuel tanks, an altered tail fin and a bubble canopy. The first production aircraft flew on 12 August 1978. Swiss civil certification followed on 5 December of the same year, with deliveries to Burma and Bolivia starting immediately thereafter. The aircraft is also used by private customers and is both FAA and FOCHA civil certified to comply to the general aviation regulations in Europe and the USA. The PC-7 Mk2 is a development of the PC-9's airframe and avionics, fitted with the PC-7's smaller turbine to lower operating and maintenance costs. It is used by the South African Air Force, with 60 examples having been manufactured. The aircraft were assembled in South Africa from kits supplied by Pilatus. The value of the contract was estimated to be $175 million in 1993. Due to political considerations, the aircraft were not fitted with the armament hardpoints. 4 PC-7 Mk2 aircraft are used by the Air Force of Brunei. Operational history. PC-7s were used by the Iraqi Air Force for close air support in the Iran-Iraq War. They were also used to deliver chemical weapons against Iranian troops. The Chadian Air Force has used its small fleet of PC-7s to bomb rebel positions both in their own territory and in neighboring Sudan. PC-7s were employed by the Guatemalan Air Force in airstrikes and for close air support during the Guatemalan Civil War, starting in 1982 until the end of the conflict in 1996. The PC-7s deployed from the airfield in La Aurora armed with gun pods and light rocket launchers. In 1994, Mexican Air Force armed PC-7s were used to attack Zapatista Army of National Liberation during the Chiapas conflict in Mexico. This action was considered illegal by the Swiss government because the airplanes were sold for training purposes only, and as a result, Switzerland issued a ban to sell more units to Mexico. In the mid to late 1990s, Executive Outcomes, a private military contractor led by Ibn Barlow, utilized 3 armed PC-7s to provide close air support during its operations in Sierra Leone. In June 2011, the Indian Air Force selected the Pilatus PC-7 MKI trainer as its basic trainer. An initial order of 75 was made. This order could be progressively increased to 181 trainers after technology transfer to India. The Indian cabinet approved the deal to buy the trainer. The contract was signed on 24 May 2012. As of 20 March 2014, the Indian MOD requested additional information for another 175 aircraft variants. PC-7 two-seat basic trainer aircraft, powered by PT6A25A engine rated at 410 kilowatts. PC-7 Mk2 is a development of the PC-9's airframe and avionics, retaining the PC-7's wing to mount external stores. Powered by PT6A25C of 522 kilowatts rather than more powerful PT6A62 of PC-9. Developed for the SAR, and known as the Astra, the aircraft is a hybrid PC-7 and PC-9, either a PC-7 Heavy or a PC-9 Light depending on point of configuration. NC PC-7, upgraded version of the standard PC-7 with fully IFR glass cockpit avionics, developed for the Swiss Air Force. Operators, military operators. An incomplete list of the users of the PC-7. Angola, National Air Force of Angola 25. Austria, Austrian Air Force 16. Bolivia, Bolivian Air Force 24. Botswana, Botswana Defense Force Air Wing 7, to be replaced by 5 PC-7 Mk2s in 2013. 5 PC-7 Mk2 aircraft formally accepted into service on February 8, 2013, removing 6 PC-7s from service. Brunei, Royal Brunei Air Force has 4. The type is also used by the Lap-A-Lap Formation Aerobatic Display Team. Chad Air Force has 2. Chilean Navy 10. Guatemala, Guatemalan Air Force 12. India, Indian Air Force 75. As of April 2014, some 35 PC-7 Mk2 have been delivered, with 40 more on order, to be delivered at the rate of about 2 aircraft every month. The Indian Ministry of Defence wants to buy an additional 106 basic trainer aircraft from Pilatus that would be license-built by a domestic company. Iran Air Force 35. Malaysia, Royal Malaysian Air Force 30 PC-7 turbo trainers out of a first order of 44, 17 PC-7 MKIs out of a second order of 19. Total of 47 currently in service. The type is also used by the Taming Sari Aerobatic Display Team. Mexico, Mexican Air Force 88. Myanmar Air Force 17. Netherlands, Royal Netherlands Air Force 13. The type is also used by the Solo Display Team Aerobatic Display Team. South Africa, South African Air Force 60. The type is also used by the Silver Falcons Aerobatic Display Team. Switzerland, Swiss Air Force 40, 28 NCPC-7s in service in 2011. The type is also used by the PC-7 Team Aerobatic Display Team. United Arab Emirates, United Arab Emirates Air Force 7 delivered. Uruguayan Air Force 6. Former military operators Bofatswana Air Force 3. France, French Air Force 5. Iraq Air Force 52. Nigerian Air Force had 2 aircraft in service. Suriname Air Force 3. Former civil operators Switzerland, Swiss Air. Accidents and incidents. The South African Air Force grounded the fleet of PC-7 MKIs after a crash on 15 January 2008. The aircraft went down shortly after takeoff from Overberg Air Force Base in the Western Cape Province. SAF Lieutenant Colonel Chris Myring, 58, died shortly after the crash. The aircraft was flying to Langebarnweg Air Force Base for maintenance, but shortly after takeoff it rolled and flew into the ground. The cause is believed to be a structural problem. In November 2009, a civilian passenger in the back seat of a South African Air Force Pilatus PC-7 Mk2 ejected from the aircraft while while in flight. The civilian accidentally pulled the yellow and black ejection lever while trying to brace himself. The passenger is thought to be a friend of the pilot, Captain Gerhard Lorenz of the Silver Falcons. Civilians are not usually allowed in SAF aircraft equipped with ejector seats. An Air Force spokesman confirmed that officials had launched an investigation into the accident. The passenger survived the incident. In March 2010, a pilot was killed when his Royal Malaysian Air Force aircraft exploded and caught fire in midair during a solo air show. This is the fifth accident involving Royal Malaysian Air Force PC-7 aircraft. In June 2010, two Mexican pilots were killed when their Air Force PC-7 crashed after taking off from Playa de la Cuesta, a district in the resort city of Acapulco, Mexico. The PC-7 crashed into the sea near Acapulco. On the 20th of October 2011, two PC-7s of the Botswana Defence Force were involved in a mid-air collision over Letlhakang, 100 km west of Gaborone. Two of the four aircrew involved were killed in the accident. Specifications. Data from General Characteristics Crew 2, Student and Instructor. Length 9.78 meters. Wingspan 10.40 meters. Height 3.21 meters. Wing area 16.60 square meters. Empty weight 1,330 kilograms. Max takeoff weight 2,700 kilograms. Power plant 1 times Pratt & Amp Whitney Canada PT-6A258 turboprop 410 kilowatts. Performance never exceeds speed 500 kilometers per hour. Maximum speed 412 km per hour. Stall speed 119 km per hour. Flaps and gear down. Power off. Range 2,630 km 20 minutes. Reserves. Service ceiling 10,060 meters. Rate of climb 10.9 meters per second. Wing loading 114.5 kilograms per square meter. Armament hardpoints 6 times hardpoints for bombs and rockets with a capacity of 1,040 kilograms.